Hello everyone, CTB Ram here. A short while back, Lekra asked how he could model this conical auger shape here, and I put together a quick video showing one approach that you could use. And I wanted to take this opportunity to show yet another way that you could model this auger shape, and I wanted to show this method first of all to show that there's multiple ways that you can achieve the same thing in Maya, but secondly I thought it would be a great opportunity to show some of the other deformation tools in Maya. So let me show you what I did here. So like before, we're going to start out by creating a polygon cylinder. We're just going to use the default cylinder here. I'm going to create the base and then pull out the height. And then next thing I'm going to do is now I could taper this now, but I want to show one of the deformation tools. So I'm going to come into the creation node here, and I'm going to add some edges in the height there, some divisions in height. And then what I want to do now is I want to make this a cone shape, but I've got all these edges in here now, so it would be difficult to make this a cone shape. I could do this by creating a deformer around this, a lattice deformer, and then just modifying the top. Or I wanted to use some of these that you don't really see used a whole lot, so I'm going to use the flare modifier on this. And then what I can do is come into the flare node here and pick the end X and Z, and I can scale that outer in, and so I can make that cone shape that we had before. And then the next thing I want to do, like I did in the previous videos, I want to add a twist to this so that I can get select one of these edges and then extrude out the blades of the auger. So what we'll do for that is we'll add another modifier here, another deformer, and we're going to go to a nonlinear twist deformer. So now I've got a twist deformer, and I can pick that and go to the end angle, and I can twist it this way. And you see, the more I twist it, the more horizontal those edges get that are twisting around these right here. But you also notice that I'm starting to get some deformation in the sides, and that's because there's not enough resolution. I didn't divide this cylinder up enough in the height. So one of the nice things about this is I still have history on this, so I can come back to the original creation node and I can bump that up until I minimize that distortion like that. And then just like in the previous video, I can come in here now and select an edge, and then I can come down here and delete this edge down here. And I can delete this edge up here. And then what I can do is come down and extrude the edge like I did before. We'll select this little button here which centers everything, and then I can pick this y-axis, the extrude on the y-axis here, and if I hold the control down while I drag this, it'll just drag it in the X, it'll extrude it only in X and Z. Just like so. And just like in the previous one, we've created the auger shape there. And then, of course, we can take and separate this, the auger blade from the cone, give the auger blade some thickness, just like we did in the previous video. The nice thing about this approach here, though, now is I can come back into the history node, or the history tree, I should say, of this model, and I can adjust things after the fact. So I can come in here now and, for instance, pick this end angle, and I can either relax or add more blades to the auger. That's kind of the coolest one. Or I can come back to the flare modifier, and I can adjust. Now this one, what I'm doing to adjust this on the fly is I'm holding the middle mouse button down and dragging, and it's not doing anything out here. So this isn't going to allow me to do it. When I was in the twist modifier, when I grab the end angle, I come out here and hold the middle mouse button down and drag it left and right. You see it's letting me adjust that value. But for some reason the flare is not. So what I have to do in this case is pick the flare and say change it to 0.5, so I can change the flare of that cone shape as much as I want on the fly. So I can get everything just the way I want it, and then separate away this portion of the model, just like we did before. Double click that face and then come down here, holding the shift and right mouse button. I'm going to extract faces, and then now I can take and delete history, and then I can take this surface right here and I can give it some thickness by going to extrude, pushing that up a little bit, and now I've got that auger blade separated from the cone. And since I just deleted history on the blade, well, actually, no, looks like I can't get back to the history of the cone here. So in this particular case, I can't undo the history of the cone, but a way to work around this is when you originally create your first cone, save a copy of it, and when you get everything done, you can delete this copy, and then you'll have the other, the original copy that has less resolution in it left over. But I just wanted to show that there's another way to do this, and then the advantage of doing it this way is you can adjust, using history, you can adjust the twist value and the flare value to adjust the final shape of the cone just the way you want it, and the shape of the blade just the way you want it before you finalize your model. Thanks a lot. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll put it up on my YouTube channel for you.